What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Talk Punch. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Brody, joined by Tudong Dylan
Hey.
and the Cedric Diggory of this Hogwarts, Charlie Hickman.
Yeah.
And it's because you're the cool one, not because you're going to be the
so
first one to
cool.
die.
He was very
I
cool.
I think we all know that I would be the first one to die in a Wizarding World scenario. So
But you're so cool, and everybody loves you.
Very true.
well, thank you.
That's the truth. All right, and while you guys are here, we'd love
out
to.
of my death.
We'd love to interact with you guys, so please email us at talktalkpunch@gmail.com. You can ask us a question, and maybe it'll show up on one of our mailbag episodes. We have a lot of fun with those. Or you can also put a comment down below. Just please be nice about it. I'd love to interact with you there as well. And whether you're watching us on YouTube or if you're listening in on the audio version of the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, make sure you go ahead, hit the thumbs up, hit the star rating, hit whatever you can hit. That helps us out, gets us in the algorithm, gets some interactions. Those things, love it, and we'd really love work with that. You can also subscribe, or else Dylan's going to come to your house and he is going to mark all the episodes of your favorite shows as watched.
Oh.
So you're not going to know where you left off. You're going to be watching these episodes, trying to find it. Where did I leave off? I haven't seen that yet. Shoot. So, how could you, Tudong?
Wait, if they don't subscribe, my hands are tied.
Got to do it. He's got to do it. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you can easily come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us and see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's topic. We've got equal. We're doing some ridiculous Wizarding World crossovers. Dylan, can you explain to the people what on earth we are doing?
With pleasure, bro. With pleasure indeed. Folks, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is so large and it's so creative that it just can go with, as far as I'm concerned, anything. Hence, and not only that, in honor of the fact that they're starting talks about making a series reboot, and there's, with that, a special message from Charlie. Charlie?
Oh, oh, thank you. I told you so. I told both of you on multiple episodes now for multiple years. This was an inevitability. There's going to be some kind of television show. Each book a season. It's probably going to be terrible. It's going to be on HBO.
Oh.
So you know they're going. It's going to be Game of Thrones style. So you know Ron Weasley's hooking up with Ginny Weasley. It's going to be weird.
Oh my gosh!
No, Charlie.
It's not TV. It's HBO. I don't make the rules, man. It's gonna be weird. You guys saw Game of Thrones. You know what I'm talking about.
Zack Snyder will probably direct it.
Zack Snyder's Harry Potter.
Oh, jeez.
But yes, you can check some of our past episodes out to hear our opinions on a television show centered in the Wizarding universe. But onwards and upwards to the new pitches.
So what we're doing, thank you, Charlie. And in honor of that, what we're doing is we're taking that Harry Potter universe and we are pairing it with another universe or another character, or we're taking that character, we're putting it into the Wizarding World. Either way, what we're doing is we're showing exactly how ridiculous it would be to make a Harry Potter crossover with another universe. For example, do I get to go first?
Yeah, you're up first.
Yes.
You drew the short straw.
I drew the long straw, either way, I drew a straw. My pitch. Harry Potter and his crew, his band, his friends decide to go back in time. They take their time twirling. What was it called, Brode?
Time Turner.
The Time Turner, that's it. They take the Time Turner and they go back to the 1970s. Not just any 1970s. They're not club kids. They don't want to, go to LA or New York or any of those kind of things. They want to go to Amity Island. That's what they want to go to. They want to go to the beach where it's nice and safe and happy. The tourists go. Everybody's pleased. And unfortunately, when they go to Amity Island in the 70s, they hit that same year and they run into Jaws. That's right, folks. Harry Potter is going to be there with his friends as Jaws is coming into the beach and eating people. You got Chief Brody who doesn't know what to do, and Harry Potter has to go and try and convince him to let them help him on the case, even because he knows that they are unbelievably overmatched. And how does he know this? He finds out that it's one of the Fantastic Beasts. That's why he's so big, and he's a man-eater, you see. So he says, "You gotta let us help you," and he doesn't want to anybody. It turns out that Chief Brody, he finds out, and he's like, "Well, I don't know how I'm going to convince anybody to let me bring kids on the hunting a killer shark, even though I know if I don't do it, everybody's gonna die. Everybody's gonna die if I don't do this." So Hooper finds out somehow. He's like, "There's no logical reason to any of the things that's happening right now. What do you mean magic, Chief Brody?" And of course, you've got Quint, who's like, "Magic on a boat be bad luck." So, I mean, they can't tell him that they're a bunch of wizards and whatnot. And they go off and try and catch this fantastic beast or just stop it from its rampage.
Okay. So is Chief Brody, is he like a graduate of Hogwarts?
Chief Brody? No, he's Chief Brody. Like they went into the world back into the 1970s. So they go.
So
They
nothing else changes.
It's a
Well,
Muggle world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Muggle world. They're like, "Hey, we're on vacation. Like Dumbledore said, we can go to whatever year we want, whatever place we want." And Hermione happens to have been studying Amity Island, so they decide to go there. They think, "Oh, there's nothing happens here," and of course, just so happens that a fantastic beast is destroying the population as we know it. And they've got to pull it together like they always do in order to catch him, stop him, and make things right. But they go to Chief Brody because they know he'll understand because he's a nice guy. It's Chief Brody, yeah. And so they go
Great
and they're
name,
like,
too.
"Listen, yeah, well, that's a given." But they're like, "We've got to level with you. You've got to bring us with you." And he's like, "That's the like, why would I ever bring children? I wouldn't bring my own children. They can't even go into the water and all that kind of thing. Forget it." And then they're like, "All right, we're gonna have to tell him." And so they perform some magic. They convince him, and he's like, "This is I don't know how, but I mean, yeah."
And what year? Oh, sorry. Go for it, Charlie.
Well, I was gonna pitch a couple of things at you. Number one,
Okay.
it's a magical shark, and they're the ones who let it in.
Okay.
So they opened up
Okay.
the
So they go
time
there
the
on
time.
purpose.
So they're just going to it's a beach. It's a great time, but they accidentally let this killer shark through, and it's their fault. They realize that's why the shark like.
Ah.
That's why in future generations the shark's like, "Hey, I'm mad specifically at this family, and I'm gonna hunt them down." It's not it's not a regular shark. That shark has a grudge, a chip on its
It does.
He doesn't like the Brody family.
non-shoulder body. So I magic shark from the Harry Potter
So
verse,
they're cleaning up their mess. I like that. That's good.
clean up their mess.
Clean up their mess.
This is our fault, Harry. Harry. This is our fault. We let the shark through.
We're going to be expelled, Harry.
No, it's great. Anyway, so you could in addition to you could set up a whole Fantastic Beast series where you go to they go find Cujo and the cocaine bear.
Yeah.
And they're tracking down all sorts of beasts. Hey, oh, it's Godzilla. What are we doing here? What are we doing in Tokyo, Harry?
True.
Oh, we came to the time turner. Not sure why Harry Potter became Cockney in that exact moment, but are you all right, Ed? We go get ourselves a Godzilla. Very nice.
I like it. It's a whole series. They accidentally let some Fantastic Beasts out.
The new Fantastic Beasts series. I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I would too.
Intensely.
It almost sounds
That would
like
be cool.
Sliders. Sliders travel through time and
Yeah, it'd be a good TV show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Either way, as long as you get Jaws in there.
So what
Gotta
year
have
are
Jaws.
they that they're traveling? Like what year in Hogwarts? Like early, or is this like year 1 Harry and them, or is this like year 6?
It's got to be enough to. It's I'd say it's when they during the Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire was that 4? 5?
4.
4?
Because it was
Maybe
Goblet
no-
of Fire, Order of the Phoenix.
I'm gonna change it to Order of the Phoenix. I want them a little bit older.
Okay.
No. Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire. Not too old, because if they're too old, then Chief Brody will have more reason to bring him with him.
They'd all
No.
have the
Goblet of
long
Fire.
hair then.
It's 70s. It makes sense.
Yeah. Goblin
Right.
of Fire I'd watch too, by the way.
Goblet of Fire sounds great.
Goblin of Fire sounds cool. Better than a goblet.
Like, who drinks from a goblet?
Well,
That's
Dylan,
all right,
I
bro,
think,
what do you got for us?
I think that pitch was probably way better than mine. I've been
Oh.
telling these guys that this is a horrible idea that I came up with, but I couldn't come up with anything else, so I'm stuck with it. So I started thinking about, okay, so what other movies or properties like took place in, what iconic characters are there in England that I could pull from? So then I started thinking about time frames, and I started, okay, so maybe we weren't directly in the Harry Potter timeline. Maybe we were in like earlier, before Harry Potter, maybe like 60s or so. So then, if you're in that time period in England, you could very easily have this new teacher show up, and it could be Austin Powers, the man of mystery.
I was waiting for you to say it. I was like, it's got to be Austin Powers.
What would he teach? Is he going to be Defense Against the Dark Arts? Because
He could be Defense Against the Dark Arts. He's a secret agent, so he knows how to fight.
His
Judo
last name's
chop.
literally Powers. I mean,
You know, maybe he was a wizard all along. Maybe he was a previous graduate of Hogwarts. But we're bringing
that's
Austin
funny.
Powers into Hogwarts. You know, you could have a young McGonagall that he's hitting on. You could have a young
Oh, yeah.
Trelawney that he's hitting on,
Mm-hmm.
going all over the place.
That's
just
great.
getting into hijinks because he's Austin Powers, and so he kind of knows what he's doing, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. You know, I thought that would be kind of a funny thing of Austin Powers wandering around.
Can I throw out? Maybe he's undercover the entire time.
You go.
Like at the very end, he's all like, right, I caught the, whoever it is. That's all I was really doing here. I'm really not a teacher, as I'm sure you all could see.
So maybe he's not a wizard at all. Maybe he's just having to work with the wizards and be undercover, but having to pretend like he's a wizard.
Oh, wow.
But he's got lots of gadgets, and so he's using his gadgets to make it look like he's doing magic.
Oh, that's great. What are you talking about, bro?
Well,
that's a great pitch.
That's a great pitch.
That's
let
really
me throw
funny.
Let me throw two things at you, bro. Number one.
Okay.
Depending on how old Austin Powers is, he can be part of an exchange program. For one Muggle comes to Hogwarts as a student, and then you send one magic kid to regular school, which could set up some fun cutaways when the poor British magician is just like in a regular 90s classroom and they're doing math and stuff. It's like, and then you have the interactions of young Dumbledore, you got Austin Powers, and then of course directly linked Austin's antics caused Tom Riddle to go completely evil. He's like, yeah, baby.
He's the reason why.
Psychedelic, baby.
It's like the butterfly effect.
Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
You are a Muggle. You're a disgrace. I'm gonna kill all Muggles because of you, Austin Powers.
Yeah, maybe it could work. I don't know.
That's the first person he called a mudblood. Mudblood.
Yeah, you could have some tensions between Austin Powers and Dumbledore. Tensions between Snape and Austin Powers.
Oh yeah.
Snape would hate him. Right?
Snape would hate him.
Hate him. And then maybe they all get together and they freeze him. They
Oh yeah.
all right, this guy's got to go. We're gonna use our magic powers. We're gonna put him on ice.
He has
That's
just
the
made
future's problem.
And then they freeze him, and then they unfreeze him when Voldemort comes, and maybe that's how you get the interactions between Austin Powers and Harry Potter.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Voldemort went missing, and so they said we got to freeze Austin Powers until make sure that Voldemort is gone. Voldemort shows up. I mean, it
And
was
then they
only like
unfreeze him.
11 years. I don't know.
good.
You know, as I thought
like it.
about like, okay, what's some British stuff that I can bring in? And I was like Austin Powers, and then I kept trying to move away from Austin Powers, but I just kept coming back to Austin Powers. So I said, you know what?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Mike.
I think it's a sign that Austin Powers should be in the Wizard.
I like that.
There's my horrible, ridiculous pitch.
Well, bro, if you thought your pitch was terrible, maybe you get a load of mine. So our movie opens up in a cantina somewhere in the universe. We got a young man sitting at a bar sipping some kind of off-colored smoky beverage. We got a weird kind of universal jazz playing in the background. Creatures of all different kin and kinds. You got Dobbies, you got dragons, you got Star Wars guys, and we have and the camera pans back. There's not just one guy at the bar. There's two guys at the bar. And let me tell you something. It's at this moment that they start sharing some stories. Like, hey, I didn't have any parents. The other guy's like, hey, you know what? I didn't have any parents either. I grew up with my aunt and uncle. Yeah, I grew up with my aunt and uncle. But they wouldn't tell me the family secret about my magic. And it's like, hey, they wouldn't tell me about it either. Like, and then there's like weird bearded guys like, hey, come with us. We're going to teach you about this ancient magic that's flowing in your blood. And he's like, me too. So we went and we trained. And he's like, I trained too. And everyone wore robes. Why were people wearing robes? He's like, I know, robes everywhere. Everyone's got robes. And he's like, I had this best friend. He's a dude. He's like, oh, me too. And there was this girl. She's kind of like my sister. And he's like, yeah, I have a sister. Was there some sexual tension? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, between you and your sister, yeah, sure. I kissed her once. Did you ever kiss your sister-like person? Sure. Who knows?
Sure.
Why not? There's this Wookiee guy. He's got hair everywhere. He's a giant. He's like, I had a giant hairy guy. He's a Hagrid guy. We're the same. And then they look a little closer and they realize they look exactly the same. They're like twins separated at birth. And we enter into a parent trap scenario. I hate my life, Harry says. And then Luke's like, I hate my life. And he's like, you want to swap? I would love to be in the magic world. And then Harry's like, yes, I would love. Jedi sounds cool. You get lightsabers? I get to chop people's limbs off with this thing? That sounds amazing. I just have this wand and you kind of fling it around and stuff kind of happens. So they switch places. And then, so this of course takes place after Voldemort and all that stuff. So that, they're older, but they're kind of same age here. Both played by Lindsay Lohan. And so at this point, we get a little window where Luke, Harry Potter, now becomes a teacher at Hogwarts. But it's a little bit funny because he uses the Force and not magic, and he can only do like a few things. Like he can like bring stuff from one side of the room to the other. He's like, oh, you want this book? Watch this. You're going to be really impressed. Whoop. You want me to do that with my eyes closed? I can do that with my eyes closed. And then meanwhile, Harry Potter's like, hey, you know what? I can be a Jedi. Anybody can be a Jedi. I'm going to open up a school for Jedis. What could go wrong?
Oh, no. What could go wrong?
But see, then Harry Potter, I'm going to call him Harry Hamill, starts to notice that one of his star pupils reminds him an awful lot of He Who Shall Not Be Named. And he's thinking, you know what? I can't go through this in this other universe. This is going to wreck poor Star Wars guy's universe. I got to kill this guy. So Harry Potter inadvertently sets off a series of events that lead him to looking like Hagrid later on. And he's like living on his own. And then it's Harry Potter who dies after he astral projects himself, which is not something that the Force can do, something only the magic can accomplish. And then it turns out that actually Luke is still alive and well, teaching Defense of the Dark Arts at Hogwarts, and everything's fine. So, and then someday he'll be reunited with his Star Wars friends. Wait till he finds out what's happened. It's been great. Han's great. Leia's great. Everyone's doing great. Don't worry about it, Luke.
So this is your way of retconning the sequel trilogy out of.
Accomplishes a lot of goals. Haven't you ever wanted to parent trap Harry and Luke? I mean, come on.
I love how
Swapping
now
stories.
suddenly they're twins.
They're twins. You've never noticed that? Funny that you've never noticed that.
It's true. I've never noticed it.
I haven't.
All right. Well,
but we also
I'm
haven't
just
seen
saying.
Harry that old.
Well, this is gonna be a fish out of water story where and they get to maybe fall in love a little bit. Who knows? Who knows?
I love it.
I think that's good.
It's really-
I think that's good.
You did a triple crossover because it wasn't just Harry Potter, Star Wars. It was also Parent Trap.
Yeah, it was Parent Trap.
I thought about Freaky Friday, but I don't know. Maybe they just swap bodies. That could work too. If you want to,
yeah.
Pick your Lohan. Just maybe
That's
not Mean
true.
Girls, but we can work it in. I will say that if you don't like any of these pitch ideas, can you picture a series of shorts where all the improbable, or dare I say impossible, moments in cinematic history are explained by Harry Potter being somewhere in the corner? Like you're watching the Die Hard movie, and Bruce Willis is leaping off an exploding building with nothing but a hose attached to his waist, and then Harry's got his wand. He's like, and he makes sure that it sticks, and the guy's dead. The guy's dead and hanging there, and he's totally dead. And then Malfoy walks up, and he's like,
Malfoy,
and resurrects him, and he's like, now I'm gonna go shoot. Just a series of movies where there's little moments. Harry Potter's like all the bullets are gonna miss.
So how does Harry take the news about Darth Vader then?
Well, the same. So he's like, oh, this was your dad. This pale, freakish looking face that reminds me an awful lot of a pale, freakish looking face that I had to deal with. Glad he's dead, Harry said.
He's like, why didn't you just throw a glass of water at him?
It's
like, you could have thrown a glass of water at him. I'm sure he would have shorted out sooner or later.
I'm melting.
Here, have a glass. Oh, I threw it at you. I'm so sorry. I've shorted things out. That must have messed up your circuit
play role.
Short circuit. Oh yeah, short circuit. Johnny 5.
Vader 5.
All movies are connected.
Vader
Brody.
5 still alive.
We're gonna.
I like them going on
link
vacation.
them all.
they go on vacation to Faulty Towers.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. It's all one universe, boys.
Yeah.
Crossover with a lot of stuff. Charlie, I really liked yours. Dylan.
Thanks, bro. Thank you so much.
It's a good dramatic pause.
And they were both better than mine. They were both better.
Yours was really good, bro. Yours was really good.
I'm excited to see, Fat Bastard and Dr. Evil and get the whole crew there.
Oh yeah.
He's like chasing Dobby. Get in my belly.
Jeez. All right. Well, good pitches, guys. Yeah, maybe we'll do some more of these with some other criteria around ridiculous pitches.
Yeah,
crossovers.
Hey, we know the studio execs listen. That's how they came up with this idea for a Harry Potter TV show to begin with. And hopefully, after hearing our ideas, you guys feel better about the idea that there might be a TV show that will make you mad, but not as mad as if any of our ideas ever got made. So
that is very true.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have anything else to add to this?
Good.
All right.
I like that Brody picked Austin Powers, and somehow his was like the most modern of the three movies that we picked. Think about making some old references tonight. I mean, Star Wars is still around and ticking at least, but the original movie, we picked a couple of original 70s movies, and then, Austin Powers in the 90s? All right.
90s,
well, if you enjoy weird content like this, make sure you check out some other videos below. Nothing probably as weird as this one, but we like to have fun. And make sure you click that like and subscribe below that beautiful Hagridish beard over there, and we will see you next time.
Later.